and share. Would you like to be a special guest on Closer Encounters? Or do you know somebody that would like to be a special guest on Closer Encounters? Then just shoot us an email at closerencounters.info@gmail.com. That's closerencounters.info@gmail.com. Have you ever witnessed a UFO? Or seen something that you just cannot explain? Or maybe you've had your very own closer encounter. You believe in the ancient alien theory? We talk about this and more. If you have a story, or maybe a question that you would like to get answered, give us a call. The number here is 347-989-1008. Again, the number 347-989-1008. Give us a call here at Closer Encounters. I'd love to talk to you.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Closer Encounters, the show where you, the listener, is also the guest. Got a couple of things happening tonight. Really cool stuff going on. First of all, as you see posted, we have a special guest with us tonight. His name is J.D. Jeffrey, and he is from the Ancient Agenda outfit there, and he also has another Facebook page there. It's called Nazca Lines Decoded, I'm sorry. But everything, it looks really cool, and can't wait to get him on here. We're going to have him on Skype, and I'm going to see if I can boot him up here real quick and give him a call. Let's see if we can nice tune. For some reason. Well, it shows him being active here. I don't know what's happening. Oh, he's typing a message. Let's see what happens here. Sorry, just missed it, he says. Okay, we're going to give him a call back here and see if we can get him on here. It's funny. All right, let's try this again here. Here we go. Hello, Mr. J.D. Are you with us, sir?
Hello, Clarence. How are you? Just missed your call.
Not a problem. That's okay. Looks like I may be having other issues here also with my blog talk here. I don't know what's going on here, but apparently my microphone's not working from what I'm understanding here. And I don't know why.
Oh.
Yeah. That ain't something.
Did you set it with Skype?
No, this is, it's called Direct Call. And I don't know, sometimes I think their feature's not working right, you know. I really don't know. But, you know, worst comes to worst, I just won't use the radio thing. We'll just do it all live, and we'll do it that way. I mean, you know.
Well, I can hear you quite fine.
Yeah, that's because we're on a different deal here, because we're on Skype, but Blog Talk, I'm on actual, it's called Direct Connect, which I'm using a big microphone and everything, and, you know, but apparently I don't know what's happening here. For some reason, it's not recognizing my microphone on the Blog Talk site. So I don't know why. I'm going to try to refresh this and see what happens here.
Yes, I had a microphone issue with Leonard's show last night for some reason.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. Internet, and I think it's, and it's not just us. I mean, I think it's everybody in every place you go to now. I think it's nationwide. It could be worldwide, but for whatever reason, the internet and all its subsidiaries seem to be really glitchy, you know. And I don't know if it's a damn conspiracy or what it is, but, you know, it sure makes you wonder. Well, obviously, I don't know what's going on here. This is nuts. But the time clock's running, everything else is running. So hopefully it's working. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Have you went live yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay.
I'm live on Facebook. If anybody there can hear me and wants to see it, they can go to the Closer Encounters page. And we are live. Excuse my voice. Boy, I tell you, I've been having all kinds of problems here lately, the past couple of days. But anyway, so JD, tell us about your sites and stuff. They're the Ancient Agenda and stuff, and sounds pretty interesting. You know, what you guys got going there?
My one admin in my one group right now, Clint, says he can't hear any sound.
He can't hear any sound.
Right.
Okay, let me see here. Is that...
Unless I'm misunderstanding what he's saying here.
Okay.
Is there anybody else out there to verify the sound?
Let me see here.
Just to make sure we do have a sound going through.
Okay, I asked them if it's working. We'll see what they respond here. If anybody,
Yes.
Hi Gail, I just wondered, is this thing working? Christopher says, I hear you. So there you go.
Oh.
I guess they hear us. Can you
Okay,
hear,
great.
can they hear JD?
Miss,
I can hear you both, yes. Okay, so yeah, they're hearing us. Yep, so it is working.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, cool.
No issues like we had last night, Friday night. Great.
Yeah. And that's just it. You never know from one day to the next. And that's what makes it so sad about it. But unfortunately, it is what it is, I guess. So, anyway,
Sweet.
I'm gonna do this with my microphone just to make sure. There we go. Yeah, because I don't know what's going on here with this thing. I don't know if Blogtalk's hearing me or not. I'll know after the show ends. I had the same thing happen last night, I guess. I thought they had done something to my site, and come to find out it was my microphone. They never heard any word that I said all night long. They got the music part, but not the microphone part. So, yeah, crazy stuff.
Ghost in the machine.
Yeah. So anyway, tell us about your ancient agenda and what's that all about.
Okay, well, I have a website and a YouTube channel and a Facebook, all under the name of Ancient Agenda.
Cool.
What we do is investigate ancient history, ancient monuments, ancient mythologies, oral traditions, cultures, various scriptures from various religious denominations to find out where our history belongs. What verifies with what we've learned in our history books, what we've learned in academia, and what goes against what we've learned. Shows us something different.
Right.
That
and what did you...
is completely...
So what's the main thing you've gotten out of it so far, I guess?
By researching the various monuments themselves, they seem to show a codex in a specific number, and also in the geological location where they are situated. That tells us part of the story behind the monument itself, and what it's saying.
So
so through this...
Okay, so are we talking just like Mesopotamia, or are we talking everything in whole? Or, I mean, I guess you study everything, don't you?
Well, I do study everything because I have an interest to find out our lost history, to see our true origins and where they are, what they're about. So I study, yes, everything, like you say, Clarence, including ufology and aliens. I study it all, even the political part. And
absolutely.
So, well, if you want to know the answers, you gotta immerse yourself.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
So,
absolutely.
I've been doing this for, well, I'm 55 years old. I've been studying ancient history and ufology since I was around 10, but doing it hardcore for the last 20 years. Really investigating behind what academics and Egyptologists don't investigate, or what they deem is not verifiable or valuable to academics. However, they mess up in some occasions. Like the Great Pyramid, it's the number one in this codex of monuments that verify a specific number,
right,
to show that this isn't an accident, because the number's calculating itself over and over again, and that can't be an accident.
Right. No, I wouldn't say
so.
So, okay, let me ask you this then. Who do you think actually showed this to them, or where did they get their knowledge from?
Well, I have an article on my website that starts with the beginning of that, where this all comes from. Basically, in a nutshell, our civilization was enhanced by off-world civilization, and the knowledge came from them. We've risen to technological age before.
Mm-hmm.
This has gone on for quite a while. So a lot of the stuff we have today, that we're using today, that we know of today, that's back engineered technology.
Mm. Yeah, and there's nothing, and we can't really duplicate it ourselves, so, that's what's so amazing about it, Every time somebody looks at it, they're like, there's no way we can do that. Not this time, not this day and age. So it's just astounding,
Well, yeah, exactly. From an architectural point, when you look at the monuments from an architectural point,
yeah, it's just
certain monuments we could probably do today to a scale.
Mm-hmm.
To a scale. We could do to a scale. But there are other monuments we couldn't even do to a scale. We couldn't accomplish on a scale model. That's the funny thing. Excuse me. Try to imagine accomplishing Saxe-Helman at 1/10th scale. Its base wall is 1,300 feet, so make a 130-foot wall replicated to Saxe-Helman.
Oof, that's a lot.
Sure. Well, we can lift those stones at 1/10. We can actually lift those stones at 1/10th scale. The thing is, can we carve those stones the way they are at Saxe-Helman to fit together the way they are?
Right.
We don't have the technology yet.
Wow.
That's just one example.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I want to shout out real quick to Jeffrey Boyd Jr. I see he stepped in. Hello, Jeff. How are you, sir? We got a bunch of people showing up here, JD. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Gail's with us. Sandra's with us. Jeffrey Boyd Jr.'s with us. He's from Independent Research Society. Awesome, awesome place. And Jeffrey, by the way, we're going to get you back on this show. We got to do a second show, so just to let you know, we're not forgotten you. It's kind of funny. He's been out doing his own thing, so he's been out doing some digging and stuff like that. And we're going to find out what he's been up to here too. But we'll do that at a later date. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. When it comes to like Giza and these other like the Mayan sites and stuff, now I notice like Giza and stuff is like the pointed style pyramid, which is actually 8-sided. A lot of people think it's only 4, but if you look at it, there's actually kind of a 3D dimensional kind of thing going on there with it. And then, of course, the Mayans and that, they're kind of flat-topped, kind of like a step pyramid. Do you think that they were both done by different celestial help, or do you think they just changed the design, or any ideas on that?
I think it's what we would see today, Clarence. We have various different cultures over the world. Although we're a global civilization, we all have our own cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we were going to create a global global message, if we were to create a global message, and the message would state the same thing in our own cultures, it would be designed differently, just slightly, but differently, because our cultures are that different, right?
Mm-hmm.
As our language is that different.
So, but why do you think a pyramid, though? What is the significance for the pyramid, regardless of what style it is, I guess? But why the pyramid? Is it just something to reach the heavens higher up with, or
That's a deep question, right? There's a lot of answers in that question, and basically, it all will boil down to sacred geometry.
Mm.
That would be the fundamental beginning to understanding of why the pyramid shape.
Right. Right. which definitely makes sense, you know, because if you measure it out and stuff, you know, in the square and whatever, and keep stacking, yeah. But some of them, I mean, gee whiz, that's just phenomenal, you know, how they come up with that stuff. And so precise, you know. It's amazing.
Well, that's the thing with sacred geometry. It holds a lot of mathematics. And mathematics with geometry is a language on its own.
Yeah, but somebody had to teach them that. I mean, where would they learn this stuff from, you know? That's the part that really gets you know.
The confusing part, because we like to think that this all happened within the last 10 to 12,000 years, because that's what we've been taught. That's
right.
What we understand from historians and academians. However, when you really deeply investigate it, you can see that there's been layers of civilizations over the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they've advanced and they've been wiped out. So the timeline is been condensed, and that's what confuses everybody so much.
Right.
It doesn't make sense when you try to fit it all in one little box. It just doesn't make sense. You're trying to force the lid closed because there's so much there that's not answered.
Oh, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Well, you know, and then there's the theorists, you know, the theorists that, like the Giza Plateau, their pyramids were made for, you know, electrical deal, you know, to send energy and stuff like that. Then I hear say that like the Mayan pyramids were basically used for smelting and different other things. Any ideas on that, or were they all designed to do the same thing, or because there's so many of them around the world, it's amazing, you know.
What I basically did, Clarence, was I immersed myself in the mathematics of the monuments and their locations and their geographical coordination.
Mm.
Sort of what Karl Monk did.
Mm-hmm.
But I also added cosmology, because when you understand that the monuments are talking in math and geometry, the answer to math and geometry, the next level above, becomes astronomy.
Right.
And we see ancient monuments globally that are astrologically aligned and speaking to us in astronomy. So it was a no-brainer to step forward with it, looking into what they were aligning to, what they were talking about astronomy-wise,
mm-hmm.
and finding that the math that they're showing coordinates in astronomy.
Right. Wow.
So that's what I really got my interest in. I didn't look into too much how they can be used as a free energy system across the global planet, as a grid system that way. I do understand from researching them, quite a few of them are situated on the ley lines of the planet.
This is true, yes. Yep. Absolutely.
And a lot of them speak to us in acoustics. So when you combine the magnetic sphere of the planet, which seems to be what's coming through the ley lines, and you combine that with acoustics, that's reverberation.
Okay, well, let me ask you this now. And I've heard this theory many times, and I pretty much had to agree with it, you know. But here's my biggest thought on this, and my biggest question: if that is the case, when the Earth shifted or tilted on its axis or whatever, do you think that upset all of that, and that's why they were not being used anymore? Or do you think it was something different, or you think it was just time up and pull the plug?
I think the monuments were actually created after that happened.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Right.
Because there's some that
that
believe
goes
that
back.
actually, some believe that they were there long before that. So I'm just kind of curious on your thoughts on that.
Right. Well, see, from the research I've conducted, it seems to go that Earth took an impact quite a few millions of years ago. Now that impact became cyclical. So now what happens every so often in the cycle, it comes back and does it again. And that's why we've had so many different rises of civilization that have gotten wiped out.
Right.
That's what's confusing us with the religious or the scriptures story of the deluge.
Right. The big
We're only reading one account, or thinking it's one account.
Right.
But we're being told that it's a cyclic account. This has happened before.
Oh, absolutely, and I agree with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the knowledge that's in the scriptures, the ancient scriptures, that's coming from oral traditions,
mm-hmm.
from Sumerian ages and before that even.
Right.
Some of that's oral tradition from prior to the Ice Age. These stories go back so far.
Yeah, and how old is the Ice Age? I mean, we're still in it, actually, but...
Well, this is the problem. We can't really date some of these monuments.
This is
yes, some of the monuments have been rebuilt. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Or fixed, if you want to call them.
Right, yeah, reconstructed.
Repaired,
right.
Reconstructed, right.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really know how old these monuments really, truly are.
Yeah. Well, here's a thought for you, and it's like, with the Great Sphinx, and I've mentioned this before to other people, and it's really hard to get a timeline on this, but when they first discovered that thing was buried up to its neck in sand, okay? Now, I don't know how long it takes for that to happen, obviously. I mean, it has to be quite a long time. And then when they uncovered it, they found out that it actually had water damage, which had to take another millennia or more, So when you put the two together, between the water damage and the actual covering up of the sand and stuff, how far back do you think that thing would go,
This is what my investigations lead to. The ages of the Sphinx and the pyramids that are situated at Giza go back at least prior Ice Age.
Do you really think so? Yeah. Yeah.
At least that old. So we're talking.
You would think so, yeah.
We're talking close to 40,000 years, which falls in line with Zep Tepe.
True, yes.
Egyptian story of the first time.
Mm-hmm.
However, that doesn't mean those monuments were built then. They could have been built a million years prior to that. We don't know one timeline. Right now, the timeline we're being given in academia is hogwash.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, very true.
But at best, guess we can safely say, yeah, these monuments are prior to the Ice Age. The advanced mathematics that they show tell us that. Nowhere in our civilization have we ever had advanced mathematics until modern times. Or so we're told.
Right. But they had to get it from someplace. It had to come from someplace. No doubt about that. For those of you who are just turning in, our guest tonight is J.D. Jeffrey, and he's from the Ancient Agenda. And he also has a Facebook page. It's called Nazca Lines Decoded. Which reminds me, J.D., I watched a YouTube video of yours about the Nazca Lines, and I was totally astonished at what you came up with. That was just totally amazing with the 3D image of the Giza Plateau and stuff. How did you come up with that theory and put it all together? Man, that just blew me away.
Well, as I said at the beginning of the show, since I've been studying ancient history for pretty near all my life, but hardcore for the last 20 years. So I think it was around 1995 I picked up a book on Nazca lines. I had been researching Nazca all my life, but there actually came out a book by Eric von Daniken with really good pictures of Nazca and also new information of Nazca. And that's where it really picked up for me, where I started to study it and really investigate it and try to find out what was there.
So how did you come up with the 3D image like that? I mean, what got you to look at that and say, okay, if we go from point A to point B, it does this, and point B to point C, it does this, and it just magically appeared as the Giza Plateau. How did that happen?
Actually, it does kind of magically just come together. When you find the starting points to where the drawings are coming from, and you find those starting points, and you find the trapezoids, and then you understand what they're showing you, and then you just follow the lines. You just follow them, and there's markers all along the lines to show you where to go. I show that in the video. You're right, Clarence. In the video, it shows you that
yes,
the Nazca lines has trapezoids, giant trapezoids drawn into the desert shapes, and also figurines, which are known as geoglyphs. Now, they're drawn on the ground. And once you understand that these, where the beginnings of these are, and you follow the lines along, they show you different trapezoid shapes, geometric shapes. They show you some of the different geoglyphs that are drawn with the lines. They start to lay it out for you. And before you can really understand what you're drawing, you start to understand this is a technological diagram.
Right. Well, I tell you what really threw me was also the part that you showed where there was a carpenter's square. And, you know, of all the time that I've seen these lines and stuff and whatever, I really never noticed that until I seen that video. And I'm like, wait a minute. You know, next thing you know, you're going to tell me it's all Mason, you know. Built
Oh, no, that
Mason.
carpenter's square is there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's sitting, there's two giveaways to show you what it's doing. One, the carpenter's square goes right through the geoglyph for the whale's back, so it's a phonic. Square and whale would be scale. So it's telling you it's the scale of the pyramid. Now it's sitting at the foot of that 13-kilometer tall 2D pyramid. So it's telling you this is the scale to that pyramid.
Oh my goodness, I never thought of that.
To that drawing.
Wow.
It's all there. They knew that words would change. We wouldn't know what words they spoke, but they knew that we'd understand math, geometry, and phonics.
Right. Right.
So it's all laid out there at Nazca. Now, there's been plenty of pictures taken, thousands of photographs taken since it's been located in the 1930s. There's been maps drawn, survey maps drawn of it. It couldn't really be fully distinguished until Google Earth came along and we could view it through satellite imagery.
Right, right. But I am just,
and even though
I'm just amazed that no one else has picked that up yet. I mean, it's like you're the only one so far that I know that's come up with this. And I was just like, wow, it just totally blew my mind. And when you showed how it worked, I was like, how in the hell did nobody else pick this up before? This is amazing. You know, it's just totally awesome.
There's another longer video there too that shows even more detail and goes into some of the other geoglyphs explaining what they are.
Cool.
but I do have to make a third video. I do have to make a more technical video, shall I say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I hope you do. I hope you do. 'Cause I really...
Well, there's so much there, and I only put so much out, so I've still got lots more to disclose on what the diagrams are showing.
Sure.
And what some of the other geoglyphs are talking about.
So what have you come up with the other ones? I mean, I know you got the Giza Plateau and stuff there in the one section. What have you found in the other section?
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. When we talk about Nazca lines, we talk about the Nazca Desert.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these lines are actually drawn right through the desert of Nazca and the Pampa Desert. So there's quite a bit there that never really gets talked about when Nazca lines are talked about. And there's quite a bit in there that show different diagrams to the upper half of the Great Pyramid, showing the King's Chamber's lintels and the placement of them in the King's Chamber, and so on.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, once you start to see it, if you know the Great Pyramid, if you know the Great Pyramid, interior of the Great Pyramid and everything, and you start to investigate what's at Nazca, you can see it. It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the shocking part.
Yeah, it sure was. Well, I was shocked, I'll tell you that. Unbelievable. But it was awesome, yeah. And I'm definitely. You said there's a longer video to that also.
Oh yes, I think you probably watched the 37-minute video.
Yes.
There's a 37-minute video, and then there's another video. It's like an hour and 6 minutes long.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that one out then. Cool.
It covers some of what's in that first video, but it covers a lot more too.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it covers various other geoglyphs.
Wow, it's just awesome. Man.
We're living in a new age.
This is true.
Technology is helping us, so it's going to make it easier for everybody.
So, yeah, you want to tell people are asking where do you find this video at? You want to tell them exactly how to get there, or what YouTube channel you have there, JD?
Okay, well, it's simplest if you go on Facebook. Just type in Nazca Lines Decoded in your search bar, and there's 3 videos there, and over 100 pictures taken from Google Earth.
Cool.
To show you what's there that I've located. For those of you that are listening, I've actually color coordinated the shapes and the lines at Nazca using Google Earth on top of the original lines. So in the videos you can see the lines at Nazca, but you can see them in color, what I've done on top, which helps you to view what's laid out there.
Right. Jeffrey Boyd was asking about the Nazca blueprint. Is that the same thing that you're talking about?
Right, Great Pyramid blueprints.
Yeah.
When you put the Nazca lines together, it shows you the Great Pyramid blueprints.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know the one I was
We
watching.
know it's the Great Pyramid because it's the only pyramid in the world that has air shafts. And this diagrams that Nazca show you that this pyramid has air shafts. So
yes, and I like how you pointed that out too in your video. That was pretty amazing. It was like you couldn't get more identical of a. I mean, yeah, it's just like Jeff said. It's a blueprint. Literally.
It is.
And it's laid out.
It's a colossal blueprint.
Yeah.
And you couldn't decipher it until we got modern technology, Clarence.
Well, this is true.
That's the amazing thing.
Yeah. And to think it's been there for all these years, and people have flown over it and took thousands of pictures of it, and, you know, and it's just now here, you know, getting deciphered. It's unbelievable.
You can't get it all. You can't get it all in from pictures. You can't get it all in from flying over top of it. But with Google Earth, You can literally spend days and weeks there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, thank God for Google Earth. Yeah.
If you have the patience,
So
you can.
there's got to be a significance then, JD, between the Nazca lines and the actual pyramids in Egypt. I mean, how far away are those two places, for goodness sakes? You know?
Well, that's the very interesting thing about it all, because the distance between the two is showing vindication to the Great Pyramid as well.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
You'll find that on the Nazca Lines Dakota page on Facebook.
So you're saying the distance
From the
between
base, when
you're saying the distance between Nazca and the Giza Plateau, there's a significance there?
yes, exactly. What's given in feet at the Great Pyramid is given in miles for distance between Nazca.
Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me.
It's very, very close.
Wow. No kidding. Wow. That's amazing. Totally amazing.
These were all little clues that helped along the way to figure out that, the more clues to show you that this isn't just an accident. This is actually what you're looking at.
I'll be darned.
Now, when you watch the first video, the one you watched, that one, Clarence, that one shows you the skeleton. That's the skeleton of what's been shown at Nazca. When I mean skeleton, it shows you the outline of a 3D pyramid, and it shows you the outline of a 2D pyramid.
Correct. Yes.
So you're only looking at a handful of lines. But the further you get into the second video, you'll see that I've actually created way more than a handful of lines. To date, I've created, using Google Earth, I've created 8,000 plus lines at Nazca.
Oh my goodness.
To find out what's going on, to recreate that diagram, to show that, to see everything, every little secret it's going to give up.
Okay.
Because if it is a blueprint, now a blueprint should show us everything.
Right.
If you understand blueprints of any type of building,
Yeah.
it doesn't hide anything.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
So any hidden rooms will be shown and how to get to them.
So have you found any hidden rooms in your diagram?
Yes, we've located two, which is shown in the both first video and the second video. In the first video, they're just shown. We just show, like, fly over them and show you the diagram. It's not
Right.
explained. But in the second video, we do explain them.
Cool.
Which is the interesting part, because it's so advanced there. They drew some of the geoglyphs to work with the solstice light.
Wow.
Now, when you follow the solstice light from these geoglyphs, crosses over the top of the pyramid peaks of the diagrams, just like it would the real pyramids in Giza.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Which was more confirmation. That's in the end of the first video too.
Yeah, and I didn't catch that though. I mean,
Well, there's so much information packed in that
True.
37-minute video.
yeah.
It's
That's true.
and it really makes your mind go, what's going on? Because you realize everything we've been told isn't really the truth, because there's something bigger here going on.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Now, I laid Nazca out step by step so anybody could go on Google Earth and do it themselves.
Mhm.
That's how hopefully that's the way I explained it in the videos, so that you could actually go there and do it yourself, step by step. Find out for yourself. This is what it is.
So why hasn't mainstream archaeology and these other people picked up on this yet? I mean, this is what I don't understand. Or do they just think you're full of bunk and they're not even going to look at it? You know, I don't get it.
Either they think it's all full of bunk, or they don't want to touch it.
Yeah. What are they so afraid of, JD? What do you think it is that they're so afraid of? I don't get that part of it. You know, I mean, wow.
That's an interesting topic on its own.
Yeah, I know. I ask that question a lot because I just don't understand it myself. I mean, of course, we're researchers and we want to know the truth, and we like our history and stuff like that, and we're forever lost in it, obviously. But these other people that walk around it and just I just shake my head. I just can't believe they would do that, or even I don't understand why they would do that. Why it doesn't connect with them. I don't get it. Very strange.
It goes back quite a long time, and of course that goes back to just oppression of people who have a bigger ego than other people, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Not everybody needs to control people, and then some people do. So I guess it would go back to the beginning of that. There's just people like that.
Well, I guess the main question would be, the ancient people, the Incas, the Mayas, the Hopi, all them people, the Egyptians, the Greeks, they believed in this stuff and they lived it wholeheartedly day after day after day after day. Where did that change?
As far as I can see, that changed just prior to the Roman age.
So you think basically you think the
from what we can see in our history books.
Yeah, but I mean, with all of that history, staring them in the face, and I mean, and it's handed down through generations of generations. How can they dismiss it? I mean, how could it not still be viable and alive? That's the thing.
Well, modern technology, as great as it is, it's made a lot of people asleep.
Well,
They're
today's
just too busy with the newest modern toy to care anymore. That's part of it.
Wow, that's just...
And there's a lot of... how do I put this out there? There's a lot of ploys out there to keep you looking in different directions.
This is true too. Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
Try to keep you away from what's right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Now, this information that I've been sharing from my website and from the Facebook group has to do with what we titled Codex 13. These monuments code the number 13. And they do it more than once, so it's not an accident. And you're not just looking at it and going, oh, okay, so it's 13 acres.
Right.
There's a lot more numbers that showing up in the number 13 to show you it's not an accident. Now, these monuments that are very ancient, that we don't understand, seem to show this number. But
why
shows a
13?
global connection. It shows us that it was done with a purpose and on purpose. But the funny thing is, we've been made to be afraid of the number 13.
This is true. Friday the 13th. So, bad luck. Yeah. Yeah. 13
so we
is an
haven't
omen.
noticed it, even though it's been sitting right there all along. We haven't noticed it. Now, for the listeners who aren't familiar with my research, the Great Pyramid of Giza, it codes the number 13 in its height with 3 different mathematics styles. In sacred cubits, it's 229 cubits tall. In metric, it's 139 meters tall. And in imperial math, it's 481 feet tall. Well, 229 cubits, 2 plus 9 is 13, 139 meters. 1 plus 3 plus 9 is 13. 481 feet. 4 plus 8 plus 1 is 13.
Wow.
So in every measurement, it goes in its height, 13. And it's sitting on 13.1 acres.
Yes, that's true.
So right there, it's given us a code in a quick, simple way that we can all see and understand. And this has been accepted by academics, and it's been accepted by Egyptologists, but it's gone unspoken about it. No one's noticed it. No one's talked about it.
Right.
And the further you get into the math of the architecture itself, you see many, many, many more 13s that are no accident. One of the best examples is approximately 2.5 million stones in the Great Pyramid that were used to make the Great Pyramid. But there was only 130 granite stones.
13, yeah.
Again, yes. And the whole pyramid lays out this way. And when you start to see it in its numerical form of its architecture, you know it's not an accident.
Right, yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
And I started to apply that to the other monuments that were misunderstood throughout history, and they were showing the same thing. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Saxon helmet, its longest wall is 1,300 feet.
Yes.
In Peru. So when I started to notice things like this, I looked further into the architectural measurements and everything to see if this was an accident or not. And many of these monuments show the number 13 so many times, like the Great Pyramid, that it can't be an accident. Some of them are definitely showing you that this was done on purpose. There's no accident whatsoever.
Right.
And you cannot hide it. You cannot hide it. In Lalibela, Egypt, there are 13 church sanctuaries that are carved into the stone, into the ground. They all are embossed with signs of the sun, solar crossings. 13 of these churches. Now, on the other side of the ocean in Peru, there's 13 sacred solar huts of Chanquillo that use the sun to mark the seasons of the year.
Okay.
So we have 13 stone huts in Chanquillo, Peru, 13 sacred churches in Lalibela, Africa, and they're separated by 13,184 kilometers.
Wow. Now, one of our visitors there in our live chat there, Perry Darrow, she says that if you had included the Pleiades into our calendar, we would have all 13 months of equal lengths throughout the year. So yeah.
Many of the ancient monuments across the planet use a 13-moon calendar.
13 moons, yes. Yeah.
These archaic ones that are linked together with the number 13, a lot of them show that also. Stonehenge, for one.
Codex 13, that's what Jeffrey's saying, yeah. Codex.
Well, it's amazing when you start to look at the monuments, what they're showing us and what they're telling us just in their own language.
Wow.
So if we let them speak their own language, we'll understand them a lot quicker.
So so what are they trying to tell us with the 13 now? What is the...
Well, Robert Bauval pretty much nailed it when he stated that the three pyramids of Giza were aligned to the belt of Orion,
Right, Orion's belt, right.
So they're giving us a counting system. Now, the oscillation of Orion takes approximately 26,000 years. Halfway point is 13,000, which aligns above many of these monuments. At 13,000 years, they're aligned above it. So they're directing a time event. And as we stated before, millions of years ago, the planet was impacted and knocked it off its 360-day rotation. It caused it to go into 365-day wiggle, which we experience now.
Right.
But that was the original deluge. However, that created an impact zone out in space. So it's an impact zone of rubble, if you want to call it that.
Right.
And every so often, our solar system goes through that. And we return to a point of impact. But this time it's nothing compared to the original impact. It's just the brimstone and fire, which causes the deluge.
That's pretty interesting. I'm sitting here milling it through my mind here as you're talking about it. Yeah. Wow. I never was good with math.
Well, the funny thing is when you start to research the ancient monuments and even in scripture, it gives you math. It explains math and astronomy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, it does. Absolutely right. Absolutely.
And also within scripture, it locates certain monuments, gives them names, talks about them.
No kidding.
Oh yes, definitely.
Now you're talking about the ancient text or the newer stuff? I mean,
well, the ancient ones, yes, and then they've been translated into newer.
right.
And a lot of it's just hidden for purpose of those who think it's their powers to know. Put it like, it was changed so many times and then revised,
Right.
and rewritten. But when you go back into the ancient scripture, and some of it, if you're lucky enough, you can get into exchanging the words to what they originally meant back in their original form.
Right.
Whether it's Akkadian or Babylonian or Hebrew, Greek, wherever you can take it back to, and then find out what it actually meant back in Sumerian even. That's the great thing with technology. We have that nowadays. There's an actual Sumerian cuneiform database where you can go there and type in the words, and it'll come up with the explanations, how many explanations there is to that word.
Right.
So you can research it on your own, and that's what I do. I research it on. I've researched the researchers, what they've presented. I've also researched where they got their information from. That helped me to find a lot of the information I found.
Uh-huh. Wow. So how did you do some of this without the internet? I mean, I'd be so lost. I mean, well, I mean, the thing is, it's just, a lot of the books I find were kind of jumbled, if you know what I mean. Now when I read certain books that I read back in the day, they were definitely wrong, so it makes me wonder which ones were real and which ones weren't, or who had the right knowledge and who didn't, It's almost like you gotta revive everything again,
That's true. You gotta look for trusted names.
Yeah.
Now, I've read everything like everybody else, so I understand what you're saying, Clarence, because there's a lot of stuff out there that comes in as speculation play.
Oh, ain't that the truth, though? Man, oh, man. And people fall for it. I mean, and I can't blame them because, it is what it is, but holy Toledo. Yeah, there's a lot of it. A lot of it.
Flinders Petrie was a great help with. He did a lot of measurements with Egypt and the monuments there, and he also did Stonehenge too. So he was a lot of help in those monuments.
Mm-hmm.
But Hancock's a great. He's got great research. Fingerprints of the Gods, great research there.
Mm-hmm.
Good compilation of monuments worldwide with technical information in there. That's the stuff I like to read.
Right.
Technical information.
Cool. Now, is there a significance?
But Carl Monk is great too. He gives you a lot of information. if you can follow through his research,
yeah,
he gives you a lot of great information.
I actually followed Lucas for a long time, but yeah, like I said, you get dumped on in a hurry with him. Yeah, absolutely.
And as I say, Laval hit it on the head when he said that pyramids align with Orion. They are a counting system. I don't agree with everything he says, but I did agree with that.
Right.
So there's some good research to look into.
Yeah. Do you think, J.D., there's a significance or any connection between these other megalithic sites? You know, let's say like Stonehenge and Giza Plateau, or any of them places, or do you think it's just Nazca and Giza?
Oh no, they all. I've laid out Google Earth from the Giza Plateau right across the planet to all the ancient sites to try to find out if there's a significance, and as you said, there's any coordination of what the effort was behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, definitely.
Definitely.
A lot of it works out mathematically.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's 3,600 kilometers from the Great Pyramid to Stonehenge.
Really? So,
Right. Now that doesn't sound like anything significant until you realize 3,600 kilometers is a ratio for 360 degree circle. Which is what Stonehenge is, a 360 degree circle.
Exactly.
Now also, the Great Pyramid is cardinally aligned perfect, but it's 3/60th of a degree off true north. That is not an accident. That is to show us the 360 degree ratio of the circle.
Wow.
So yes, these monuments show you geometrically and mathematically that they are linked together. Now, Stonehenge has 76 trilithon stones. 7 and 6 is 13.
This is true, yes. There's that 13 again. Yeah.
And the trilithon stones sit in a height, I think, around 13.7 meters tall. The majority of the trilithon stones, their width are at 4.9 feet. 4 and 9 is 13. See, they calculated the stones and the measurements and these monuments to show us a number. And they did it so we'd see that this was not an accident.
Wow, that's just amazing. Totally amazing. Phew. I don't know how you do it. Well, I tell you what, I'm glad you did, though.
Well,
what an eye-opener. Yeah. That is just totally... I'm kind of dumbfounded. Wow.
It really came through understanding a lot of what Carl Munkin presented. And I understood what he was saying. He was saying what the mathematics of these monuments are just too advanced to be what we're told by academics,
Right.
how they were built in our timeline heritage. They're too advanced mathematics. There's no possible way. So that's when I really started to look at the math. And that's when I started to notice with the Great Pyramid, all the 13s coming up. There were so many 13s coming out of there in different math systems. I couldn't believe it. Even to the distance between all three pyramids at the Great Pyramid layout, between the Great Pyramid Edmund Corey pyramid. If you run a line from corner to corner, it'll touch all three pyramids, and that distance is 1,057 meters. 1 and 5 and 7 is 13.
Yes.
I was dumbfounded that they laid it out so perfect.
Wow.
It's right there in front of us.
So that's why that one is kind of off-centered, so to speak, to make it that 13.
No, that has to do with the belt stars of Orion.
That too.
Out of
Yeah.
alignment.
Yeah.
But they aligned them at that measurement perfectly.
Yeah, it did. Absolutely.
And the monuments themselves, the other monuments there, Coffreys and Mincuries, they also encode the number 13 in different math values. So it was no accident.
So there's got to be another reason why the 13, though. I mean, what is the big, what would be the big kahuna for the 13?
Well, as I stated about the impact rubble zone we travel through every now and then, it's given us a timeline when we return to that.
As in thousands or millions or...
Thousands and thousands and thousands. It's coordinating with the 26,000 year period of Orion's transition. So it's in that transition count that it's given us an impact time.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I kind of think that those powers that be behind the curtain, I think they understand this. I think they have for a long time because they keep adjusting the calendars.
This is true.
They have since the Roman days.
How significant do you think the Mayan calendar was compared to that? Do you think they were right on track or not?
Best ever. Best, exactly. I think they're amazing. And I used a lot of, when I was researching certain things, like astronomy and astronomy is one of my passions, so I research a lot of it. But I use a lot of the Mayan knowledge for astronomy to understand. And you have to, if you want to understand your monuments, you have to apply it to the monuments.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they have the best calendar. Their calendar, even today, theirs is the best when it comes to calculating eclipses.
And and let's see, how did that end? It was like 365 and a half days or something like that? Is that how that worked out? I forget the number on that.
Well, they had 365, yeah. So they had like 360 days and then 5 offset days.
5 offsets, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Which you find out a lot in different civilizations across the globe. Their calendars were offset like that. Some had superstitions, and those extra days were bad days and evil days. However, they were just a calculation off.
Right.
Of the rotation of our planet.
Yeah. Oh, it's just amazing.
Now, these monuments, they don't just calculate a number. They also, where they're placed, tells you a bit about what they're all about.
Really?
And they explain the cyclic deluge that we go through every so often. Because each one of the monuments is strategically located upon some type of cataclysm point, if you want to call it that.
Right. Such as the
And this
flood
is
or
global.
earthquake or the Great Deluge or, yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, we have, in Ohio, North America, we have the Great Serpent Mountain.
Yeah.
It's calculated at 1,348 feet with a height difference from 1 foot to 3 feet. So it's singling out the number 1 and the number 3 in its height, and it gives you the calculation 1,348 feet in its length. However, its full length is 1,376 feet. So you get a double 13 in that 1376. 76 is 13. and which is calculating solar and lunar movements. Now, it's overlooking a huge comet impact crater.
Yes. Yes.
So its head's overlooking it. That's part of the clue to Serpent Mound itself. And when you go down to Teotihuacan in Mexico, Teotihuacan, it's covered in the number 13 as well. It's built on 13 kilometers of land. The Avenue of the Dead is 1.3 miles long, and it's 131 feet wide. Well, it's surrounded by volcanoes. In fact, volcano lava had actually attached to Pyramid of the Moon and had one point in time.
Right.
And Chichen Itza, we know, is situated around the area of the dinosaur impact
Yes.
zone. It also calculates the number 13 so many different ways. It lays out to our solar system. The center pyramid, Kukulkan, which uses the sunlight to cast a shadow of the serpent twice a year, it's a solar calendar. It shows 365 day a year. It calculates the number 13 in its monument as well.
Wow.
It actually has 13 ball courts at Chichen Itza.
I didn't know that.
And the 13th ball court is the grand ball court, which in its dimensions too shows you 13. And it also shows you, well, we've shown something in it, our research that no one else shown about the ball court. How the ball court hoop itself casts shadows along the giant wall there.
Mm-hmm.
And it works like a sundial. Now it sits, as I said, at the impact of the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs. Now when you go over to Angkor Wat, it's on a flood system.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's showing you a flooding system, and it calculates 13 as well. Each side of the moat at Angkor Wat is 1.3 miles long. The tallest tower at the center is 130 feet tall, and the solstice sets on it twice a year. There are other 13 numbers there as well. This also sits at longitude 103 and latitude.
Really?
Latitude 13, longitude 103, I think it is.
Oh my goodness.
I might have got them back. I might have got the latitude and longitude backwards, but it's
either way,
13
it's
and 103.
Yeah, either way, it's
So,
yeah.
Well, they've also done that with the monuments. Well, I mean, the first clue should have been that these monuments were laid out on a grid to our geo coordinates. This isn't. We're using somebody else's geo coordinates. That should have been realized when it was brought to the attention that by centering on the Grand Gallery and the Great Pyramid, you get the speed of light in a vacuum. And from there, I started to investigate the monuments on their longitudes and latitudes, like Carl Monk was showing, but I did it differently than he did it. I just looked at them where they were situated and what the numbers were saying, like the Wellington horse. So at latitude 5143, longitude 123. Now 5143 is the south angle of the Great Pyramid. 5143 adds up to 13. 5 plus 1 plus 4 plus 3 adds up to 13.
Wow.
So they've laid these monuments out to the coordinated number of 13. And when you look at them, you're like, okay, they're right there. How did this get missed? Even Stonehenge does that. And its longitude and latitude is amazing with Stonehenge. Its longitude lays out to 5143.84. So it's showing you 5143 is the south slope of the Great Pyramid. 5184 is the north slope of the Great Pyramid.
Wow.
Yeah. Now in its longitude, it shows you the mean depth between the Earth and the Sun distance, which is where the sunlight enters on solstice day.
Was it the longest day of the year, right? Or
well, no, it's just showing us the mean distance
Right.
between the Sun and the Earth.
okay.
Calculated mean distance. So when I started to see this showing up in the various different longitude and latitudes, I started to realize this was so advanced.
Wow. Yeah.
It couldn't be an accident.
No, obviously. Man.
And we're just talking about a few of them, Clint, because if we were just to sit on one monument and talk about the 13s that are there, we'd be
All day.
doing an hour on a monument.
Sure, just on one.
I've tried to lay it out on my website for anybody who wants to take the time to go through there. There's, I think, like 20 different monuments explained. So far, I've got more to explain.
Give them the name of your website again, JD.
AncientAgenda.com.
AncientAgenda.com. There you go. Awesome. Yeah, I like that page,
So
by the way. I was checking that out. That's a nice setup. I like how you got that. I may copy that.
The Earth in the background is my Google Earth with all the lines I've drawn up from Giza across the planet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Drawn it to the various ancient monuments, petroglyphs, geoglyphs, different sites. Some sites of anomaly that are just the points of interest as well. And I laid it all up from the Giza Plateau.
Wow, that's just amazing. Just totally amazing.
Well, it was. I understand visual helps quite a bit with explaining things to people.
Sure.
I could explain certain monuments to people and they just look at me, kind of tilt their head and eyes will go out.
Right?
Glaze over and hold it open a bit and kind of look at me like,
Well, here, let me draw it out for you.
are you right there, friend? So I thought, well, pictures and videos are really help to explain what I'm trying to
Absolutely.
convey. So I did that. And we have some videos on YouTube, but now I studied history for 45 years and I was bored with it. So when I make a video, I tend to put a rock song in the background to liven it up, and hopefully the lyrics kind of explain what the pictures are showing.
Mm.
So that's what you'll find on my YouTube channel mostly.
I got a question here from Jeffrey Boyd for you. I'm sorry, guys, if I haven't been paying attention to the thing here because I'm so wrapped up in what he's saying here. I'm not reading the questions. I'm sorry, but Jeffrey Boyd's got a question. He says, "How does Codex 13 reflect or show in the Vedic structures?" In the Vedic.
The Vedic structure?
In the Vedic structures.
The Vedics. Oh, well, in the Hindu structures, they show up. If that's what you want to know, Jeffrey. It doesn't calculate it in the Vedics at all. It's not in the Mahabharata or anything like that.
Okay, so
but
it's
the
not.
monuments themselves do the calculations.
Okay, say that one more time. It's
the monuments themselves
uh-huh.
do the calculations for the Codex 13. For example, Chamberea.
Okay.
Actually, we just spoke about Angkor Wat in Cambodia. It explained quite a few 13s.
Right. Yes.
Chamberea, which is a stepwell, is 13 stories.
Mm.
Deep, because it's dug into the ground. It's a stepwell.
Right.
And there's 13 levels of stairs in each stairwell. If you count from the base platform right up and over to the side, there's 13. These monuments calculate them in their architecture, which shows you that this was implied. It was done on purpose.
Wow.
They didn't just sit down and figure out, okay, I'm going to build a monument to this size.
Right.
They figured out, I'm going to build a monument to this size, but I'm going to encode the number 13 in its building procedures of its different sizes to its rooms, its levels of building. Everything was calculated on purpose.
That's amazing. Yeah, when you put it that way and you really stop and think about it, it's like, yeah.
That's how I can understand when you do that, when you see this and it starts to come out, and you can see it. Once you see the numbers, you can see it. It's simple.
Yes.
This is how you can tell an ancient archaic monument from just an ancient monument that, say, our Egyptians built. Because these are pre-dynastic to the Egyptians. So built monuments too. They didn't encode the math, and that's how you can tell. They didn't encode coordinates. They didn't encode how they're angled to solstice.
Yeah, they didn't encode any of it.
The use of acoustics. All those are clues to this monument being advanced.
Mm.
Same with Chichen Itza. If you clap your hands, cup your hands, and you clap your hands in front of the monument of Kukulkan in Chichen Itza on, I believe it's the south side of monument of the serpent's head, the echo comes back through the valley like the chirping of a bird, and then it will rattle through the columns like a rattlesnake.
No.
The acoustics are so magnificent.
Wow.
And that's just from clapping your hands.
Hmm.
As it said in the Great Pyramid, if you're standing in the subterranean chamber and someone's in the King's Chamber, which is 300 feet above, and they're talking, it's just like you can hear them just like we're right beside each other.
Exactly.
The acoustics are so advanced.
Yeah.
You find that a lot with the Hindu temples as well.
Yeah. Well, it all had to do with vibration and sound, right? I mean, that's what that was all about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Bradahishar temple in Indonesia, I believe, it's 13 stories tall. It's calculated. Its temple alone is 130 tons of stone. So they calculate the number 13 in the monuments. They use the acoustics and the sunlight, and they sent us a message. The message that we could understand, but it didn't have a verbal language attached to it.
Right. Right. Wow. That's amazing. Jeffrey wants to know what you think of Mount Sharia in Gornia.
I'm not familiar with that one, Jeffrey. I don't think so.
Shoria.
No, I'm not familiar with it. You got any more background on the mystery to it?
Yeah. Mount Sharia.
But even with Stonehenge, as we were talking about them being located on some type of impact zone, Stonehenge is built at the edge of the ice shield. Where the ice shield stops.
Yeah.
It's built at the edge there.
Right.
And I guess also, again, with Giza, built on the Nile, flooding.
Mm.
So it's showing us these different impact zones and what this will create. It will create floods and obviously bring on the Ice Age.
Hmm. I got two questions for you now that I'm sitting here thinking off the top of my head. Going back to the Nazca deal, any idea on the band of holes?
Yes, we have a video on the band of holes. Band of holes actually calculates with the number 13 as well.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. Wow.
It's an effigy of a serpent.
See,
again, it's an effigy of a serpent.
I told people that. I said, if you look at that, it looks like a snake. When you're,
it is. It's definitely an effigy.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
That's the one thing I didn't point out in the video, that the holes themselves, the pockmarks, they're the shape of scales to a serpent's skin.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. I've said it 100 times. And if you look at it, and with the spaces in between, it's like a band, like a stripe across,
Yes.
Certain areas, yeah. And I've said that, and people are like, no, I don't see that. And I'm like, how can you not see it? That's the first thing I thought of was snakeskin as soon as I seen that. And I'm like, wow, yeah, unbelievable. I'm glad you said that.
We'll have a video on that on YouTube, parents, as well.
That's fantastic.
It covers a few of them. Actually, it covers Sacsayhuaman. It covers.
Cool.
Like really quickly, it covers Sacsayhuaman. It covers Chichen Itza. serpent mount, and bend holes.
That's amazing. But you're saying 13 correlates with that also. How does that happen?
Well, the block patterns, the holes themselves are either 6 feet or 7 feet deep.
Okay. Gotcha.
No difference. They're either 6 or they're 7 feet deep.
One or the other.
So 6 and 7 is 13.
Yeah.
And the coordinates come out 13 as well.
Wow. Now, does the length and the width have anything to do with that also, or not?
I haven't been able to get a width on it.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that some of the block patterns are at 24 meters width.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the
between
distance
bands?
is
Yeah.
1,450 meters, something like that.
Wow. That's a
But it's quite the stretch up
Yes,
upward, up over that mountain hill.
absolutely. Yes. I definitely agree. But it's always intrigued me, the band of holes. That's why I ask about it, because I always said that it looked like a serpent, like a snake. And that was my whole thing. That's why I was asking you about it. That's pretty awesome.
There's an article on my website on it
That's so cool.
that goes through it and explains it
Wow.
with pictures also.
That is awesome.
All the articles.
And that's on the Nazca Lines Decoded or on the Ancient Agenda?
No. That's on Ancient Agenda website, ancientagenda.com.
Okay.
If you go on the home page on the top header bar, there's a link for Codex 13. If you go into there, there's 20 odd different articles, and it'll be in one of those articles.
We'll find it, yeah.
There's a lot of monuments covered in there because we have quite a few monuments across the planet that are unexplained.
Oh, absolutely.
For the most part, the ancients that we do know of try to tell us, or tell those that came along and conquered them, that they were there before they came along.
Right, yeah.
The only real ones we don't hear that from are the Egyptians. They're the ones that say that they built them. Mm-hmm. Although their own history points in different directions.
Well, this is true because the Egyptians didn't come along only at a certain time period, and they've already dated the plateau a lot older than that. So, yeah.
Well, this is it. And that building's just too advanced. It's just too advanced for it.
Yeah. So they had to be there.
What we would have to be creating today ourselves.
Exactly.
I mean, we've seen them try to replicate certain parts, and they just fail at that.
Oh,
even when they do show something. Mm-hmm. I think the latest thing they showed was Mark Winter showed that they floated a stone down
right.
the Nile River.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They used modern technology to load it and unload it.
This is true. Yep. And it's nowhere near some of the size of them blocks either.
No. Yeah. And it still took them quite a bit of time to cut the stone and shape the stone. Mm-hmm. What they didn't tell you was they were using modern tools.
Exactly. Exactly.
They tell you how long it took. They tell you how long it took them, but they don't tell you they were using modern tools.
Yeah, it's ironic.
So yeah, you can replicate to a point, but you're using modern knowledge to do the rest.
Yeah.
So if you really present a theory, that to get us to believe it, you got to show it all. You can't skip over points.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
That's what I try to do with NASCAR. I try to lay it out point from point so that anybody themselves can do it on their own.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Didn't try to hide anything, and that's one of the reasons I opened up the Facebook page so that if anybody wants to directly ask questions or additional information, right there they can. actually, with Nazca, the funny thing is a lot of it calculates at 13 as well. That 2D pyramid,
Yeah.
it's 13 kilometers tall, and it's 13.1 kilometers wide at its base. Well, that gives you the same base measurement as the Great Pyramid.
It's the Great Pyramid. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. But
And that
again, if
3D pyramid at Nazca, or the 3D pyramid Nazca, the south bottom leg of the 3D pyramid is pointing to the mountains. Now, if you look at the mountains are the same shape as what the Nile River is, and that foot, that anchor at the point there, the last ruler that it shows, points to where the Great Pyramid is located on the Nile River, using the mountain range as a base to stage it from.
wow,
Yeah, when you do the calculations, you get the same calculations.
same calculations, yeah.
So it was kind of undeniable when you measure from the top ruler at Nazca to that base ruler. That's what I mean, Clarence, where I need to do another technical one on Nazca.
Yeah.
When you measure from the top ruler to the base of that line we were just talking about, to the base of the ruler, you get a length of 4.81 kilometers. The height of the pyramid is 481 feet. Well, you get the height of the pyramid in 481. Now, the opposite line to that, when you measure it, you get a distance of 6.11 kilometers. That's how long the slope angle of the Great Pyramid is, 611 feet. So the measurements are given in kilometers are equaling feet of the pyramid.
Wow.
Which is astounding as well. So I do have to do another technical video to show all this.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you had anybody else coincide with this and say you're right or wrong? I mean, has anybody actually sat down with all of your work and you know, or some of it or any of it and
if you mean a qualified professional has come out of the woodwork and wanted to put their stamp of approval on it, no.
No, yeah.
No.
I wonder who we can send it to and have them analyze it. I'm serious.
I think it's,
somebody
I
out
think
there's
it
got
would,
it.
honestly, I put it out to the public because I honestly think it's too taboo of a subject for academics to even want to look at it.
But you have to look at it. You can't deny that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what I was saying, you know, earlier. When it boils down to the nitty gritty and you start putting all this together, how can you?
Well, the heron at Nazca, uses its beak to conduct solstice light. Okay, goes straight down the heron beak. Now, if you follow the heron beak, it goes right across using the solstice light. If you follow the heron beak using the solstice light, it goes right across the top of that 13-kilometer 2D pyramid, exactly the way it does on the Great Pyramid.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So
wow.
They've left nothing uncovered at Nazca to show, yes, this is schematics to the Great Pyramid.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Huh. Whew. That is awesome.
So, and that was confirmed through Maria Reiche's research. So we know it's the fact.
Right.
That solstice light does exactly do that.
That's something. That's awesome.
So there were so many examples laid out at Nazca. It wasn't until Google came along that could really, and I had done it. I had done what I could do with pictures of the petroglyphs, what I could understand, or geoglyphs, what I could understand of them, to explain them, the monkey and the hummingbird and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd actually use maps that were taken, aerial maps taken by the Peruvian Air Force, to lay out some of what I thought was laying there. It wasn't until Google Earth came along that I could actually
look at
go
it.
there
Yeah.
and just lay it down step by step.
I'm a spiral fanatic. Okay, I've been recently researching and studying the spirals. Uh, like you see, carved in walls and different other things like that. And I noticed that one monkey there does have a spiral tail. Do you think there's a significance behind that?
There's a lot of spirals at Nazca.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few. Now, when you follow, the monkey spiral is completely different
Right. Yeah.
than the other spirals.
Right.
Because the other spirals are attached to lines, so they're showing you a form of a tape measuring device.
Okay.
Now, the monkey, his tail is very similar, does a very similar thing to what the whale's eye does, the whale geoglyph.
It's got
So
that.
it's showing you a math ratio,
Okay.
and that's the significance with them.
Because it has that never-ending deal to it, right?
Right. I want to say that's I can't think of the name of the proper math term for it. There is a math term for it though. But like the monkey shows us what we know as the Pythagorean triple, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, they had a different name for it, but they show it to us with the monkey.
Wow.
He's got five fingers on one hand, 4 fingers on the other hand, and three toes.
Three toes.
4, 5.
Yep.
And you need this 3, 4, 5 to square anything from a picture frame to a house to a Great Pyramid. So they knew that ratio. They just obviously had a different name for it.
Wow. That's amazing. That's totally amazing. Whew.
But it's a symbology that would resemble phi math, and phi ratio is basically what was used to construct the Grand Gallery at the Great Pyramid, which is what the monkey is showing us. He's showing us Grand Gallery information.
Wow.
They lay the schematic out that lays out in front of him. Actually, they show 3 triangles in consecutive height, and the monkey has both his hands on the largest triangle, so that's telling you this diagram has to do with the Great Pyramid, the largest triangle.
That's unbelievable.
Now, when you look at the layout to it, it's showing you a ratio to the Grand Gallery, and it's showing the slope angle of the Grand Gallery.
Okay, so here's a big question for you, JD. Do you think that they were all done roughly at the same time, or do you think there was different timelines between the animal figures and the actual lines and stuff like that? I mean, obviously they're not done overnight. I get that, but I guess, but do you think there's like a lapse in time there? Thousands of years between, maybe, or 100 years between, or do you think the same people did them, or what?
It's all the same message, yes.
Same message, same people?
Because the geoglyphs explain certain build procedures to the Great Pyramid. They're used as building icons, for those who understand building blueprints, they understand what a building icon is. And for a general blueprint, when you're building a house or whatever, you build so many of them, so you know the general process of what gets built here and there whatsoever. However, when you get into an intricate procedure that takes more knowledge, there's an icon that directs you to another page that it gives you an exploded view, so you can understand what needs to be done in that detailed area, and that's what these icons do.
Cool.
The first key was the hummingbird. The hummingbird he's in stop motion.
Right.
And he's upside down, but he's encased in a half arc of mountains. And he's in stop motion, and his beak is actually on a rectangular trapezoid figure. So his beak's attached to that. He's stopped in flight. He's upside down. He's in a half arc of mountains. And he has 18 points. These are all little clues that he was showing.
Wow.
So in the long run, what he's really showing you is his 18 points is showing you a 180-degree ratio, which is encased in a half arc of mountains. So a half arc with 180 degrees is a protractor.
Right.
And that's why his beak's attached to the rectangular trapezoid to show you the ruler. So it's phonics of language to explain. Now he's upside down.
Yeah.
Which is weird thing. So what he's really saying is turn me over, right?
Yeah.
So instead of the word hover, because he's stopped, and a hummingbird hovers, instead of hover, the word is over. It's phonic. So when you turn the picture over, now you can see the diagram that he's pointing to.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there were all little clues laid out.
That's totally amazing.
And that's what showed me that, yes, these geoglyphs were created as part of the diagram of the lines all at one time. Because they're explaining things, and I would never have saw it unless I could figure out what they were explaining.
That is amazing. Do you have a book on this, JD? Have you written a book about this?
I haven't published any books at all, Clarence.
JD, you got to get this published, man. You can't. Yeah, you got to get this published. I'm serious. I know it sounds like a lot of work. We'll get a team together. We'll find people to help you. Do whatever we got to do. You got to get this out there, man. I mean, seriously. That's going to rock. That rocks everything. That's just, wow. Dude, you know what you got? It's like the Holy Grail. I mean, seriously.
Well, it is the Holy Grail. It's what.
Absolutely.
Nazca, it turns out to be, Nazca's really what you would call the Hall of Records.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it records a lost history, and it shows us locations within the Great Pyramid we have not found yet.
Hmm.
So it is a Holy Grail type of.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, you can't get any better than that.
Piece of history.
You cannot get any better than that.
Well, there are secrets yet to be explained at Nazca. So yes, you can say that exactly, Clarence. It doesn't get any better than Nazca.
Wow, what a quest! What a quest, man! And the things you've unlocked, JD, it's just phenomenal. I'm so overwhelmed by a lot of it. It's just when I think I know a few things, it's like you just twisted me up, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Awesome.
Well, I think it's about time, right? I think it's about time that the world knows
absolutely
the truth to our history.
Absolutely.
To who we are, to where we came from, to where we're going.
Absolutely.
To what's really going on behind closed doors.
Too bad you couldn't get that together and send that to people like Van Daniken and them and let them look at that and say, here you go. It's not an airport thing like other people think and da-da-da-da. This is what, and show them and see what they say about it, Of course, I wouldn't want them to steal your theory, but if they would, I don't know. But
problem is a lot of these big name researchers, it converges on their research. Now,
yeah,
it does two things. It does away with some of the research that they've done. Said,
yeah,
right. Said that these monuments were, but it also takes away some of their limelight.
Yeah, but JD, you know what?
It's a tough thing to do. That's a tough thing to swallow.
Well, yeah,
for a lot of people.
But I say this all the time, and when I talk about things on this show and stuff like that, which I wholeheartedly, there's some things that are just stamped in stone with me, okay? But if somebody were to come along and give me solid, pure evidence like what you're doing tonight and makes me step back and think about it, I got to change my mind. I can't, there's no way I can, I can't debunk that, That's just the way it is.
Well, with Nazca, as I said earlier, I really started to get into it in 1995 when I picked up Eric von Daniken's book on the Nazca lines. He had some very great detailed pictures.
Right.
And the actual first geoglyph I decoded was what's known as the Mandela. And what showed me that there's 3 pyramids at the center of this location.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I really started to understand what was going on in Anza. And
wow.
Affectionately, I named El Astronato, the giant. I named him Eric because
that's
Eric Von Daniken.
Yeah, Eric.
So you'll see in my videos sometimes the name Eric will pop up beside
Eric,
the giant, because that's what I have them pegged on my Google Earth as.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
But so there are, a lot of people from the past that have brought this information out that I owe a lot of gratitude to. So if it wasn't for them, I would never have gotten to where I am.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to. I don't want to bring any harm upon any other researchers. That's not what I'm doing.
I wouldn't say that. But I mean, they share their stuff with everybody. I mean, so why wouldn't they share yours and accept it? I mean, come on. That's what it's all about, right?
It's true. That's how I believe. Actually, my idea, honestly, Clarence, when you talk about writing a book, the information I share comes from what I've already written as far as documenting in books goes.
Mm-hmm.
I can release a book at any time, in other words, with more information that I haven't even put out yet on various other monuments we haven't even spoke about, such as Petra. Petra Falls plays a big part into this. I haven't even talked about it, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, JD,
So
we need to get you to do this, man. We, what's it going to take?
But see, with me, Clarence, I actually believe in my heart that these monuments, this is a global message created on the face of Earth for everybody. It belongs to everybody. It belongs to everybody. This is just something we should be taught from birth.
Right.
So I wanted to give it away. I thought, this belongs to everybody. And when you find something that doesn't belong to you, you're just holding on to until you find the proper owners.
Right.
So that's kind of how I looked at this. This message is.
I agree. I totally am with you on that 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I decided to share it with on Facebook and get it out, get the message out. But you're right. A lot of people have asked me for books so they have a hard copy on their shelf.
Yes. It's always good for reference, and you can pick it up off the shelf and open it up and go, right here, look, page 199, Yeah, absolutely. Think about it, JD. Seriously, man, it's just, that's too much information,
Well, I agree that the Nazca Lines message needs to get out there, so I should do possibly a book with a DVD, I guess. Cause
that would be awesome.
I mean, the book's great too.
Yes. Actually,
I've been invited to do a webinar with a few selected people and present Nazca that way as well too. So
why not? Absolutely, get it out there.
The future's open.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a message we all need to look at.
Absolutely. Well, JD, I am sorry. Looks like our time is just about up here. I only got a couple minutes here to go. Wow, you totally blew us away tonight, JD, no doubt about it. And I am so thankful to be able to get you on the show and talk about this stuff. And we're going to do this again because I got to keep updated on your work. And yeah, it's just so fascinating. Wow, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. So tell everybody again, please, your site. It's Ancient Agenda.
Yes, ancientagenda.com. You find that through Google, I guess. It's also Ancient Agenda on YouTube, where we have various different videos. And there's Ancient Agenda on Facebook. There's also Nazca Lines Decoded on Facebook. Nazca Lines Decoded is basically just an information page. The Ancient Agenda page on Facebook is where we get into the discussions. And not just the research I present, but whatever anybody out there finds, wants to bring in and share with the rest of us. Any knowledge they have, that's what it's built about.
Absolutely.
We've designed what's called unison quest so we can all get together, share the knowledge, bring us back to the truth behind the ancient monuments.
Unbelievable.
So this way we know what our past was and we'll know where our future is.
That's right.
So I really appreciate the show tonight I've had with you, Clarence. I really enjoyed talking with you.
We're going to do it again, my
It's
friend.
been great.
No doubt about
Okay,
it.
awesome. I just want to do a shout out to my admins. Thank you for all you do, admins. And Jeffrey Boyd, give me a shout sometime, brother.
There you go. Cool.
Thank you to all the listeners that came out tonight.
Yes, absolutely. All right, my friend. All right, we're going to sign off here with you, and have a great evening. And anybody, yeah, well, I was going to say, bleh. I want to thank everybody that's live with us here on Facebook. Everybody that showed up, Omar and Jeff, and everybody. There's just so many people there. I can't really mention them all, but we really appreciate it. I have another show coming up here in just a few minutes. We're going to be with Omar on Watchers Talk. Please connect to that and watch that. And we're going to go. I got to get something from my throat, though, real quick. In the meantime, JD, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Just awesome. And like I said, we're going to do this again.
Once again, thanks, Clarence. It was awesome. It was great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, folks. In the meantime, please keep your eyes to the skies and have a great evening all. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.